If a woman doesn't want you, she won't always say it, she'll show it, and most men are too blind to see it. Let's be real. A lot of guys spend months, even years, chasing a woman who made her decision about them a long time ago. But here's the truth. Women rarely reject you directly. They just make you feel rejected without saying a word. Today, we're talking about one of the most painful yet powerful realizations in the dating world. When a woman doesn't want you, she'll do these 5 specific things. And if you're not paying attention, you'll end up wasting your time, your confidence, and your energy on someone who checked out long ago. Here's the thing. Women are experts at subtle communication. While men look for words, women operate through patterns, energy, and behavior. You might think she's just busy, or she's confused, or that you just need to try harder. But no. What she's really doing is showing you, in plain sight, that she's already made her choice. This video is not about blaming women. It's about waking you up. You deserve clarity. You deserve to stop romanticizing mixed signals. And most importantly, you deserve to stop begging for love where it's not being offered. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what signs to look out for, so you can stop chasing women who aren't into you and start respecting yourself again. No more confusion, no more waiting for her to change her mind. If she doesn't want you, these 5 behaviors will expose everything. So if you've ever felt like something was off but couldn't explain it, or you're tired of overthinking her every move, pay attention. This might be the video that finally sets you free. 1. She avoids touch. One of the clearest signs a woman doesn't want you anymore is when physical affection disappears. It's not always obvious at first. She might still sit next to you. She might still smile when you walk in. But look closer. She's not touching you like she used to. And if you try to initiate it, she pulls away, gives a half-hearted hug, or leans the other direction. Touch is one of the most primal ways humans express interest. When a woman is into you, she finds excuses to touch you, playfully hitting your arm, fixing your collar, resting her hand on your knee, or brushing past you just to feel your skin. It's instinctive. It's subconscious. She doesn't even need to think about it. She just wants to be close to you. But when that desire fades, so does the touch. Now here's where most men mess up. They assume she's just tired, stressed, or not in the mood. They start making excuses for her. And in doing that, they ignore the obvious truth. She's no longer attracted to you like before. Because when a woman wants you, it doesn't matter if she had a long day. She'll still lean into you when you sit beside her. She'll still want to be wrapped up in your presence. Even tired affection is still affection. Here's the brutal reality. When her body language shuts down, her heart is already halfway out the door. Let's say you and your girl are watching a movie on the couch. A few months ago, she'd curl up next to you, maybe put her head on your chest, hold your hand. Now? She's on the opposite end of the couch, arms folded, phone in hand. You try to slide closer, and she subtly shifts away, or throws out, "I'm hot, I'm tired," or "not now." That's not just comfort, that's distance. And when a woman creates physical distance, it almost always means emotional distance has already begun. This is not something to beg your way out of. You can't force a woman to want to touch you. The more you chase it, the more she'll pull away. That's why awareness is your power here. Recognize the signs early. Stop pretending. Don't explain it away. The worst thing you can do is ignore this shift and keep acting like everything's fine. Because the moment her touch dies, the connection starts to rot. And unless she feels that loss and chooses to revive it herself, it's already gone. 2. Her texts feel cold. You felt it. You open your phone, send her a message, and the reply comes back hours later. Dry, short, distant. Not rude, not angry, just emotionless. That's when it hits you. The energy's off. It used to be fun, flirty, alive. Now it feels like you're texting a coworker. When a woman's interest starts to fade, her communication changes. Not always overnight, but gradually, like a fire running out of oxygen. At first, the texts lose warmth. Then, they lose frequency. And finally, they lose effort. You're stuck trying to spark conversations that used to flow on their own. You're rereading her replies, trying to convince yourself she's just tired or busy. But deep down, you know, there was a time when she'd reply in seconds, even when she was out with friends or at work. She'd double text. She'd send voice notes. She'd make you feel like you mattered. Now her replies are one-word answers. There's no curiosity, no teasing, no emojis, no spark, just neutral nothingness. The truth is, texting reflects investment. A woman who wants you wants to talk to you. It's not about how long the messages are, it's about the vibe. Is she engaged? Is she playful? Or is she just being polite? Too many men lie to themselves. They say, she's probably just having a bad day, or she's not much of a texter. No, if she was excited about you, you'd feel it, even through a screen. Women know how to show interest. And when they stop showing it, it's usually intentional. Here's what hurts the most. She might not even be mad at you. There might not be an argument, a clear reason, or a dramatic exit. Instead, there's just this slow fade out that makes you feel like you're going crazy, trying to fix something that's already broken. And still, you keep texting her, hoping the old energy comes back. You try harder. You stay up late waiting for her to reply. You wonder if it's your fault. But it's not always about you doing something wrong. It's about her no longer feeling what she used to feel. That's a painful pill to swallow, but it's one you need to accept. Because the moment her texts feel cold, it's your signal to stop chasing. If she wants you, she'll make it obvious. And if she doesn't, you'll always feel like you're bothering her. So stop lying to yourself. Stop trying to revive a dead conversation. A woman's attention is not something you should have to beg for. If she's pulling away, let her go. Let silence answer what her words no longer say. 3. You always chase. When a woman doesn't want you anymore, one of the most obvious signs is this. You're the one doing all the chasing. You're initiating every conversation. You're planning all the meetups. You're checking in, showing interest, trying to keep things alive, while she just sits back and watches. And at some point, you realize this isn't a connection anymore. It's a one-man effort. Let's be honest, if you're the only one reaching out, that's a red flag. If you're the only one keeping the energy alive, you're not in a relationship. You're in a performance. And no matter how strong or confident you are, constantly chasing someone who doesn't return that energy will drain you. At first, it's easy to confuse effort with love. You tell yourself, I'm just being consistent, or she'll see how serious I am. But consistency without reciprocation is just self-destruction in disguise. You shouldn't have to convince someone to value you. You shouldn't have to chase what's not running toward you too. Men get stuck in this loop. She pulls away a little, and instead of stepping back, you step in harder. You think effort will fix everything. You think being more available will make her come back. But here's the truth. When a woman loses interest, your effort won't bring her back. It'll only make her more comfortable not trying. There's a twisted reality in how attraction works. The more you chase her when she's no longer invested, the less she respects you. Not because you're a bad man, but because you've made yourself too easy, too desperate, too willing to accept crumbs just to stay close. That's not love. That's fear. Fear of losing her. Fear of being alone. Fear that if you stop chasing, she'll disappear forever. But ask yourself this. What are you really holding on to? Her or the illusion of who she used to be? You were never meant to exhaust yourself for someone's attention. Real interest is mutual. When a woman wants you, you'll feel it. You won't have to second guess or constantly fight to stay in her world. So if you're always the one chasing, it's time to pause. Step back. Look at the reality, not the fantasy you've been telling yourself. Because the moment a woman stops meeting you halfway, you're not in pursuit of love. You're running in circles around your own worth. 4. She flirts with others. Here's a harsh truth that men don't like to admit. When a woman doesn't want you anymore, she doesn't hide her attention from other men. In fact, sometimes she makes sure you notice it. And it stings. Not just because she's flirting with someone else, but because she's stopped caring about how it makes you feel. You start to see it in how she talks, how she laughs a little louder when another guy is around, how her tone changes when she's texting in front of you. Suddenly, you're no longer the one lighting her up. Someone else is. And it's obvious. But still, you try to convince yourself you're imagining it. You tell yourself she's just being friendly, that it's nothing, that you're overthinking. You're not. When a woman is committed to you, mind, body, and soul, she doesn't entertain other men. Not because she's incapable, but because she doesn't want to. Loyalty, for her, is natural when she actually desires you. But the moment that desire dies, boundaries start to slip. She becomes emotionally open to others, even if she's still, technically, with you. And let's be real. Nothing destroys a man's confidence faster than watching the woman he loves light up for someone else. You try to ignore it. You try to stay composed. But deep down, it's killing you. You start to question yourself. You wonder if you're not good enough. You try harder, thinking if you step up, she'll stop looking elsewhere. But it doesn't work like that. If she's flirting with other men while still keeping you around, that's not a mistake. It's a message. She's showing you where her attention is going. And if you don't pick up on it, she'll keep doing it because she knows you'll tolerate it. This is where most men fold. Instead of walking away, they tighten their grip. They become jealous, clingy, or worse, silent and bitter. But all that does is make her lose even more respect for you. Here's what you need to remember. A woman who truly wants you won't make you feel like you have competition. She won't use other men to trigger your insecurity. She won't risk losing your trust just to feel desired by strangers. If she's doing that, it's because you're no longer the man she's chasing. She's already looking elsewhere, and you're just the placeholder. You don't need to compete for what's already yours. And if you feel like you have to compete, maybe she isn't yours anymore. 5. She's too busy. When a woman doesn't want you, suddenly her life becomes overwhelmingly busy. Her schedule fills up with everything but you. She's working late, she's tired, she's overwhelmed, she's with family, she's not in the right headspace. And at first, you believe her, because life does get hectic sometimes. But when busy becomes the default excuse, it's no longer about her schedule, it's about her priorities. Men need to understand something simple, but brutal. People make time for what matters to them. If a woman genuinely wants you in her life, she will carve out moments, even in chaos, to talk to you, see you, or stay connected. It might not always be a full day together, but it'll be something. Because when there's interest, there's effort. But when she doesn't want you, suddenly, even sending a text back takes too much energy. The decline is always subtle. She used to be available after work. Now she says she needs time to unwind alone. You used to grab food on weekends. Now her weekends are packed with plans that came up. Every attempt you make gets a delayed response or a vague answer. She's not saying no, but she's never really saying yes either. You're left in limbo, always waiting, hoping she'll be free next week, next month, never. Let's say you ask her if she wants to grab dinner this Friday. She says, "I'll let you know." Friday comes, and nothing. No follow-up, no text. So you ask again Saturday morning. This time she says, "Sorry, I got caught up with stuff." Then she disappears again. After a few of these moments, it's no longer bad timing, it's clear avoidance. The truth is, being busy is the most polite way to slowly push someone out without confrontation. It gives her an excuse to keep you around just in case, while avoiding emotional commitment. It's passive rejection dressed as responsibility. And the worst part? You start lowering your expectations. You start thanking her for little things, like a quick call or a dry text, because you're just grateful for any attention at all. You're hoping things will go back to how they were, but deep down, you feel the gap growing wider. Stop fooling yourself. A woman who wants you doesn't have to be chased through her calendar. If she keeps telling you she's too busy, believe her, not about her schedule, but about her feelings. No one is too busy for the person they truly desire. And if she doesn't make time for you, it's not because she's overwhelmed, it's because she's over it. 6. You feel like a burden. You can't always explain it, but you feel it. Being around her doesn't feel the same anymore. It used to be effortless. You could talk for hours, laugh over nothing, and just enjoy each other's presence. Now, it feels like you're walking on eggshells. You hesitate before calling. You second-guess your messages. You ask yourself, am I bothering her? That's not what love is supposed to feel like. When a woman no longer wants you, the energy shifts. And not in a way you can always point out directly. But your body knows. You stop feeling welcomed. You feel tolerated. Everything you do feels like too much. You bring something up and she sighs. You ask to hang out and she says she's tired again. You try to express how you feel and she shuts down or gives short, cold answers. And even though she never directly says it, you feel unwanted, like your presence is a problem. Here's the harsh reality most men don't want to admit. You can sense when you're no longer desired. It's not about fights or dramatic exits. It's about subtle disconnection. She doesn't ask about your day anymore. She doesn't get excited when she sees you. She doesn't light up when you walk in. The emotional warmth is gone, and you feel it in your gut. And what do most men do in this situation? They blame themselves. They try harder. They start thinking, maybe I'm too emotional, or maybe I'm being clingy. So they shrink themselves. They suppress how they feel just to keep her comfortable. They stop expressing their needs, stop speaking up, and start accepting less. But that only makes things worse. Because when a man starts to feel like a burden, it means the connection is already out of balance. It means he's giving more than he's receiving. And a relationship like that will always leave him drained. You're not supposed to feel guilty for wanting attention, love, or effort. You're not supposed to feel like asking for her time is an inconvenience. When she really wants you, your presence feels like a gift, not a request. But when she doesn't, everything you do starts to feel too much. Even your silence can become a problem, because she's no longer emotionally tuned in. That's not how you're meant to live. You deserve connection, not confusion. You deserve someone who makes you feel secure, not someone who makes you question your place in their life every single day. So if you constantly feel like a burden, you're not crazy. You're not weak. You're just noticing a shift you're afraid to admit. She's already let go emotionally, even if she hasn't said the words. 7. She stops respecting you. The final and most brutal sign a woman doesn't want you anymore is this. She stops respecting you. Not in a loud or obvious way. Sometimes it's quiet, subtle, but it shows. In how she speaks to you, in how she ignores your boundaries, in how she doesn't take your opinion seriously anymore. And most men don't even notice it, because they're too focused on keeping her. Let's be honest here, a woman cannot stay attracted to a man she doesn't respect. And when that respect fades, so does everything else. Love, desire, loyalty. It doesn't matter how much you provide, how often you show up, or how good your intentions are. If she doesn't respect you, it's over. Here's the hard truth. A lot of men let this happen. You ignore the signs. You stay quiet when she crosses the line. You let her control the tone, the pace, the rhythm of the relationship. You don't speak up when you feel disrespected because you're scared she'll leave. You tolerate little jabs, sarcastic comments, cold dismissals, thinking it's just how she is. But every time you let it slide, you teach her that your boundaries don't matter. And that's where the dynamic shifts. She used to admire your strength. Now she rolls her eyes when you talk. She used to ask for your opinion. Now she interrupts or dismisses it. She used to care about how you felt. Now she doesn't even notice when you pull away. That's not just her changing. It's you allowing her to see you as weak. And here's the advice. Stop tolerating disrespect just because you're afraid to lose her. You've got to understand that your silence isn't noble. It's self-betrayal. A man who doesn't command respect will never hold a woman's interest for long. She might stay physically, but mentally and emotionally. She's already gone. Wake up. You're not being patient. You're being passive. You're not being understanding. You're being avoidant. And the longer you accept disrespect, the more you kill the part of you that used to have standards. Start paying attention to how she talks to you. Start noticing whether your presence gets appreciation or irritation. And if the respect is gone, don't beg for it. Don't argue for it. Don't try to prove yourself. Walk away. Because staying in a space where you're not respected will only drain your confidence, break your spirit, and leave you empty. Respect isn't optional. It's the foundation. And if it's not there, neither is she. Not really. Let's be real. Most men see the signs way before the end. They just choose to ignore them. We convince ourselves that if we love harder, wait longer, or stay silent, things will go back to how they used to be. But the truth is, when a woman doesn't want you, everything changes. Her words get colder. Her attention fades. Her respect disappears. And the longer you pretend it's still love, the more damage you do to yourself. So here's the most controversial truth you'll hear today. A woman would rather keep you around and disrespect you than admit she doesn't want you anymore. Let that sink in. She'll string you along with excuses, half-effort, and emotional games, because it's easier than having a hard conversation. And if you don't wake up and walk away, she won't stop you from sinking deeper. She'll just stop caring that you are. But this isn't about blaming her. It's about holding yourself accountable. If you saw yourself clearly, you'd never beg for someone to value you. And if you respected yourself, you'd never stay where you're unwanted. I want to hear from you. Drop your experiences in the comments. No filters, no shame. I'll be in the replies. Let's talk. I want this channel to be more than just content. I want it to be a brotherhood. If you've ever felt these things, know this. You're not alone, and it's time to rise again.